Hey guys, this video is going to include two different skills that are both really important, so watch the whole thing, learn the whole exercise before you post your video. This is a new-ish thing even for my vets. I've not taught this exercise, I don't think, ever. You may have seen the skills before, but you definitely haven't done this exact exercise. So watch the whole thing, learn it in detail before you post your video. So the two skills I'm talking about are plié, which is a French word, it means bend. We're also going to talk about port de bras contributions, so basically different ways that you can use your arms, some of the more common ones that you might find in things that I write for you or different basics exercises. So we're going to start by talking about plié. Again, that's a French word, it means bend. If you'll set up in first position, I want you to think about mostly your lower body, but as you're concentrating on your lower body, give one brain cell to your upper body to kind of remind you every once in a while, hey, I need to be standing up straight, I need to relax my shoulders, lift my chin, make myself nice and tall. This is an unfortunate camera angle. If I lift my chin to audience height, it looks like I'm not looking at you, so forgive me for looking at you in this particular video. So, here I am in first position. You remember first position means heels together, toes apart. So I have a pretty serious pizza slice between my feet. None of those like little baby ones, like this is good pizza. This is the kind you want a big slice of. So your feet are pretty far open. I would say to like 45 degrees, the 45s, making a 90-degree angle, and a good serious pizza slice. Whenever you plie, meaning bend, when you bend your knees, your knee and your toes, wherever those parts of your body are pointed, should match. That really is going to apply universally, even if you do stuff in parallel, or if you're only going to plie one leg in the future in choreography, your plie from your knee is always going to match the plie from your foot because all of your turnout comes from up high. So you're going to engage muscles up here and use your entire leg to plie. So when we do a basic plie in first position, I'm going to keep my stack in my upper body, just like I talked about, and I'm going to sink in through my knees, still opening from up high, and let my knees and my toes point the same direction. I'm not sure how well you can see that from my video. So they're pointing out the same angle. That's allowing, my hips are allowing that to happen because I'm opening from way up here, and it creates kind of a diamond shape. I then press up and close in to come back to my neutral first position, and you have a basic plie. So press open from up high, and then control your close from up high, all the while remembering not to lean forward with your upper body and let your upper body posture melt. You want it to stay nice and tall and engaged so that it just sinks and rises with your plie, that it doesn't rearrange at all as you move. So get comfortable with that idea. You're going to do several of those in this exercise, I think a total of 4. So you'll go plie nice and slow, and straighten nice and slow, plie nice and slow, and straighten nice and slow. Then I'm going to have you do an arm thing in that exercise, and then you'll repeat that, so 4 of those. 4 pliés in first. Like I said, plie technique pretty much applies universally. If you're going to plie, your hip and your knee and your ankle and your toes are all going to point the same direction. So we're going to try that in one more other basic position today, that being second position. Later on in the exercise, I'm going to have you step out to a second position. And I'm going to remind you of your turnout again, that it comes from up here. So your toes are pointing out, maybe on the 45s, maybe a little further. In second position, it's not so hard to do. And that when you plie, your knees, since you're opening from way up here, your knees should follow the path that your ankles and your toes made so that you can still open up in that same position. You can open your second however wide you think is necessary, as long as you're able to follow the shape of your feet with your knees. That's plie in second, and then again, the whole time, I'm keeping my nice stack from my upper body. Everything goes down together and up together. It doesn't lean or rearrange at all. Again, you're gonna do 4 of those, I think, in this exercise. 2 slow ones, down and up, and down and up, and then you'll do an arm thing and you'll repeat, just like the first position ones. So, pause this video if you need a minute to stew about plie. Remember, you're turning out from up high, knees, toes, ankles, hips, all of those things should go the same direction as they press open and closed to make your plie. With this plie exercise that I'm going to have you do today, there are some pretty fun port de bras contributions, meaning arm movements, the way you use your arms. So, it's a pretty simple little combination, I guess. Once you learn it, you'll memorize the pattern really fast, but I want you to really concentrate, even vets, I want you to really concentrate that you're doing these shapes to the best of your technical ability. So if you think about the way your arms naturally sit, if you just relax your shoulders, relax your arms, and let them hang. Your fingers are probably going to curve a little more than you want them to, but they naturally sort of line up, more or less. They're essentially the same shape. So if you put a little energy into your palm through your fingers and straighten them out, keep them mostly lined up. I don't want you to go super sharp. Keep them mostly lined up in that almost relaxed position. Then take your thumb, squeeze a little energy right in here, and close that thumb to match the shape your hands are making. You will notice, especially my right hand, but I do it with both, that my pointer finger wants to escape. This is a stylistic choice that some people make where they let their pointer finger come out. I tend to do it to the extreme. If you choose to do that, keep it under control, and I'm going to fight it today too, trying to keep all of my fingers in line. Use good technique. You will notice that there is a slight curve when I make this position in my wrist. Be wary of the very slight curve, because again, if you relax your arm, just let it dangle down, that slight curve is already there and you don't really need to add any curve. So sometimes we think about the curve too hard and we go like this, and we flex our hands in too far. Obviously I'm exaggerating a little bit, but really I want you to think about your wrist being relaxed. It's engaged enough that you are in control of it, but it's not pulled in too hard or pushed back, of course. So everything's in a nice control, and then you notice to make the rest of this arm shaping that I'm making, I'm taking my elbow, which is pointed back right now, and I'm opening it out to the side. I'm not doing that to bend my arm a whole ton. I don't really want to make a circle. First position, by the way, that's what we're building. First position is not a circle. It's more of a really long oval that hangs low on your body and then lifts up ever so slightly to look rounded. So we're making an oval shape, and we do that by keeping our shoulders low and lifting our elbows out to the side. So I'm just twisting my arm this way. I could do it with my arm straight if I wanted to, but I make this nice curve shape with my hands. I can lift my elbows up and out, and it provides just enough curve without overdoing it to make my first position. I'm gonna lift it off of my body just a tiny smidgen, just a few inches, and I'm gonna let it stay super low and relax, and I've got first position arms. We can make something that we also tend to call first position a little bit higher. This is at about the level of your rib cage, so it's not truly flat. Nothing on a human body is ever truly flat. It's right about where your rib cage is about where this would go. And you'll notice I kept my hands and my elbows in that same position. A really common thing when we're making our way up to a shape like that is to let our elbows get dangly. Sometimes we'll do that on purpose to make a different shape, but if we're gonna come up and keep that first position shaping, we're gonna keep our fingers closed and we're gonna lift our elbows up and out and then drive from back here, from your shoulders and your back muscles, squeezing your shoulder blades together to lift your arms up. You can carry that shape all the way up to fifth position, being wary that it does not line up with your face. Again, nothing on a human body is really ever flat or a straight line. My fifth position is actually out in front of me by a little bit. If you're looking at me straight on, it looks like I'm framing my face, but I'm not pulling it way back here because that creates work for my shoulders. It's just unnecessary and it tends to make us look tense. So we're gonna keep it out right in front of us. That's fifth position. So stew on that pathway for a minute if that's new for you. This is your first position. You can pull up through this. We're calling it flat, but it's really our rib cage position, and then we're coming up to fifth, all the while keeping that rotation on our elbows to get that nice rounded shape. So first, fifth. We're also gonna go from here and open up. We do this all the time. It's in choreography all the time. My hands aren't really gonna change. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these arm shapings and I'm gonna pull them apart from my back, from my shoulders. I'm gonna pull open until I arrive at second position. So here's the thing with second position. It's like you're hugging a great big stinking tree. So you'll notice my arms are curved. I need to back up some. My arms are curved. I'm not pulling them all the way back flat with my body. Different stylistic choice. We're gonna curve our arms. We're gonna keep our elbows lifted up and over. The temptation from here, again, is to let your elbows sag and to end up here. So you have to think, as you're pulling apart, you're also, starting right about here, gonna curve outward using your elbows and the muscles in your back to arrive at second position without our saggy elbows. Now you can see my palm. I'm not quite opening them to the audience, but you can see the palm of my hand now. This is second position with our arms. I'm still in first position with my feet, not to confuse you. On my way down, because I can take it from here back down to that first position, I'm gonna give a little stretch of energy so that I press my palms down, straighten my arms out, and I then take that energy that I put through my palms and press it together. Shoulders go nice and low, and I arrive back at this lovely curve that I started at. We use that shaping so much. My vets can tell you so much. We use it for everything. So it's really important that we get it right. So relax. Relax your shoulders, relax your hands. Add just enough energy in your elbows and your hands and your wrists to line everything up, and practice that motion. Lifting high, keeping our elbows rotated out, arriving at fifth position, opening up, curving around so that we don't let our elbows sag. Add that extra little bit of energy and then close back down. That's the main part of the combination that you're going to use, but it's actually the second half, because the first half is the part that I said was new. I don't think I've ever taught this exact thing. There's only one motion in there that's a little bit different, and it's super mega easy. So if I start in this first position, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna extend, starting kind of with the back of my forearm. I'm gonna extend out ever so gently to make this kind of A-frame low V shape, and then I'm gonna close back in. It's not the same as like cheerleading style low V, we'll get there. It's not that sharp because I want you to think about flow. Flow out there and flow back in. Not flourish out there. We're not doing any like super funky wrist choices yet. Right now I want you to just think flow. Take a smooth path out and a smooth path back in. So I've been talking about this arm combination. Let me finally teach it to you with the pliés on it. You're gonna start in first position, you're gonna plie nice and slow, like I said, and as you do it, you're gonna flow open to that new shape that I just showed you. You'll notice that it makes your arms also line up with all the other parts that I said line up in your plie. So sink down, press up, and you end up back where you started. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. You're gonna do another plie, but this time you're gonna start picking your arms up. 5, 6, arrive at about rib cage level. Then when you straighten up, you're gonna open apart and come out to second position, keeping those elbows lifted so they don't sag. As you straighten, you open 7, 8. Now remember I said you're gonna take a break and you're not gonna do any pliés, because right now what you're gonna do is you're gonna come down like we practiced. You're gonna lift up to fifth, just like we did a minute ago. Curve out to second, stretch, and close. So you're gonna practice all those arm shapings. Then you're gonna repeat the whole shebang. So this is what you'll do twice. Plie, close your hands, lift halfway, open to second. Just your arms, down, up to fifth, open, out, press, and close. Do it again. Plie, close your hands. Rib cage level, open to second, just arms come down and up, open, out, stretch. This time when you open out and stretch, you're gonna take your right foot and step out to second position, stretch, and close your hands so we can do it again at second. I'm gonna adjust so that you can still see me since that takes me off center. Rinse and repeat the whole shebang. Same arms, different feet. So I'm gonna do just my second position pliés, and I'm gonna take those arms and I'm only gonna modify the first checkpoint just a smidgen to make it look good with second. So when we were in first, we pulled our arms apart just as much as our feet were, basically, to make it frame that first position plie. When we're in second, we're gonna open them a little bit wider, again, to mimic the shape of this demi-plie in second. So it's only a little bit wider. It's not way up here, it's not at flat. It's still low, it's just a little bit bigger than the first one. So, stretch out and close, come up to rib cage level. This is exactly the same. Open to second, don't do anything with your feet, just come down, come up to fifth, open up, stretch and close. Repeat, plie, close your hands, rib cage level, open up, just your arms come down, lift up, open out, stretch, and then bring them down, back to first. Leave your feet where they are, and that's the whole exercise. If you feel like you're gonna have trouble with rushing or staying on a particular beat, if you're just counting for yourself, when you go to film, put a song on in the background. Pick a nice slow one with a super chill beat so you don't have to go super fast. I'm gonna show you the whole exercise. I'm not gonna use any music. You feel free if you want to, and then you can get to filming. So I'm gonna start a little off center so that when I step out, I'll fit in the frame. We start in first. We have 5, 6, 7, 8. Plie and stretch. Plie and stretch. Just arms come down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Repeat. Plie and stretch. And plie and stretch. Just your arms. Open up. Step out with your right foot. Close your hands. Plie. Open, a little bigger stretch. And plie and stretch. Bring it down. Lift it up. Open out. Close your hands. Repeat. Plie and stretch. Plie. Open your arms. Bring them down. Up to 5th. Open up and stretch and close, and you're done.